Well, morning guys, welcome back. So we're back at it again. We're back out carp fishing, finally. It's been a long journey since my last trip, but we're finally back out doing it again. Just having a bit of a walk around the lake at the moment. There's no one else here yet. The light's only just come up really. So yeah, just having a really good look around. And I think I found a little group of fish just down the bank a little bit further, but I wanted to walk down this corner as well just to have a look because the wind's pushing down here, but doesn't seem to be much happening. I'm not seeing any sort of movement or anything like that. And I've not seen any fish show as we're down the other side. I've seen one fish show, like one just gently roll, and then a few fizzes coming up. So I think I'm gonna get back down there and get my rods out. It's a peg I've fished quite a few times in the past, so I know it's got good form and also I know the spots, so let's get to it. Well, morning guys, we're back at it again. We're finally in the peg, the rods are out. We're good to go. So yeah, this is sort of like a late autumn winter session. It's not super cold yet and it's not really turned into proper winter, but we're still in that late autumn stage and all the leaves are on the floor. Everything's feeling like it's getting ready to settle down for the winter now. The lake's still looking really good. I'm seeing lots of fizzers now. I've set up in a peg that I've previously fished quite a lot, so I know this swim very well. I know the layout of the swim and how the shelving of the lake drops off, so I haven't got led around too much. Ooh, I've got a coot diving on me now. Yeah, no, it's actually feeling really good, to be honest with you. I've got these two rods out. One's in the margin and one is out actually in the middle of the water, so it's not a very wide lake. It's probably sort of 70-80 yards across and I'm fishing out into the middle, but it is a very deep lake, so the way the water sort of drops down in the middle, you've got a lot of depth of water, so you've probably got as much as most lakes in terms of average size of lake. Oh, I think that's a coot picking me up. Either that or he's got one of the freebies, I can't quite tell. Gonna give it a few minutes and maybe I'll have to reel that one in and have a little look. But that's very annoying. If he's got the hook bait, I'm gonna be very surprised because it's quite a hard hook bait, but yeah, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence on that edge spot. The water is actually very clear today. There's a lot of leaf debris in the water, but you can see the clarity of the water has changed dramatically since my last trip. Yeah, it's quite a sort of dark, peaty sort of colour water usually, and then the margin here, it's really sort of cleared up. I can see the bottom for quite a way out, and then there's this overhanging tree, and it's just underneath that I've got my rig. It's not super cold today. It's averaging about 10 degrees at the moment, so that's actually quite good, and the water temperature is still quite high, so I'm not going straight in with complete out and out winter approach. I'm still fishing with that autumn approach. Gonna feed them up a little bit, see if they sort of respond to a bit of bait today. I've only brought boilies with me. I've got boilies and crumb, and that's literally it. So yeah, amongst all the baits on the bottom, I'm gonna have the boilies, I'm gonna have loads of chops and crumb and some liquids on top, so it's like high attract, quite a visual approach. Yeah, can be pretty good. So over the top, I'm fishing a snowman presentation on both rods. The one on the margin rod, I've got a little snowman with a little pink pop-up on top, like a trimmed down one, so it's quite subtle. It's actually a wafter hook bait, but with a slice of a pop-up on top, so it's ultra buoyant, but it's weighted down just enough that the hook will sort of sit like a claw on the lake bed. Instead of sitting on the side, it's sitting sort of well approached. So with all this leaf debris and stuff like that, I don't want the hook to be laying flat in case it gets caught on any twigs, or maybe the fish will suck and blow and move the rig around and it's going to get caught on some other rubbish on the bottom, and I don't want any of that. So I want it to be sort of critically balanced, so it's going to settle back down in quite an aggressive approach and not tangle up the hook or the get the hook point stuck into anything. And then again, that similar sort of balance on the other rod, and that one has got a snowman but with a white pop-up, and that's with one of the new Nutilla hook baits. So yeah, so that one's quite a light colour bait, so that one essentially would be more of a winter approach, but I'm going in with it at the moment. I'm doing a mix of two different baits, quite a salty oily bait and then a more sort of creamy wintry bait, and I'm going to see which one sort of pays off. If I get takes on one and not the other, maybe I'll switch over, but today's sort of a bit of a learning curve, just sort of like an early attempt at a winter trip, and yeah, just to see sort of how it goes really. But yeah, I'm quite excited. I'm just sat here now chilling back on my chair. I'm gonna have a little bite to eat in a minute. I didn't get much breakfast this morning, so rushing out the door, and yeah, I'm gonna have a little bite to eat. I'm gonna sit back and watch the water for a while and see if we can get something. So I've been watching the water quite a bit, and there's a lot of fizzes going on in that sort of middle channel of the lake. That's where my left-hand rod is. I'm probably a rod length short of the middle, just in case someone else does rock up on the lake. I don't want to have any problems or try and mess around with changing spots later into the session. So I've cast out just over, probably a rod length over the halfway point, and let the swing back bring me back into sort of my half of the water, if you like. So yeah, I'm fishing on that edge line, and hopefully that's going to produce a bite. So yeah, I must admit, it doesn't really feel like winter at the moment with the temperatures we've had. And yeah, it definitely sort of starting to look like winter with all these leaves on the ground, everything sort of boggy and muddy everywhere. And yeah, the clarity in the water has changed dramatically. Well, I'm just going to sit back and chill for a while now and watch the water for a while. And if we get anything, I'll let you guys know. So maybe later on, we'll take a closer look at the rigs, baits, and my approach to this sort of session in the colder months. Well guys, it's been a bit of an uneventful morning, to be honest with you. I had one weird take. Yeah, seems to be a reoccurring theme going on here. I start to get liners and then a weird take. This lake throws up some weird things every now and then. Basically the bobbin slammed up to the top and the alarm started to tear off, and yeah, line was being taken. But unfortunately, by the time I got to the rod, nothing on at all. I do think it's a trailer, a fish with tackle trailing behind it, a hook in its mouth. Everyone knows the score on these sort of lakes. On day ticket waters, you do tend to get people fishing with light line, or maybe just like under geared for the type of water it is. They hit a snag or whatever, the line breaks and they're not fishing super safe, so everything's attached to the fish still. I do think it's one of those because it didn't feel like a bite, but the way the line took off, obviously there was something taking line. So when I brought the rig in, everything looked absolutely fine. The bait was perfect, the hook was razor sharp still. Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one really. That was my left hand rod out in the middle of the water. So basically just got it in, freshened up, put a new bait on and everything, new PVA bag, back out on the spot, a few pouches full of boilies over the top, and yeah, that's sitting pretty again. So the rod's back out. The right hand rod, after that Coop picked me up this morning, I did check it. I just wanted to be absolutely sure, especially on these cold days when you're sitting around and bites can be a bit slow. I don't want to be sat there for hours knowing that the hook bait might not be sitting perfectly or even attached to the rig still. So reeled that in, changed the hook bait over on that as well, popped that back out, and yeah, that's just sitting there in the margin again. But yeah, it's about 12 o'clock now, or quarter to 12, something like that. Not really much happening at the moment, but there was some fizzes still about 10 minutes ago. So I've kept that rod over on the sort of the central channel of the lake, if you like, and hopefully that's going to produce a bite. If not, you know, there might be some fish sort of starting to group up, sticking around in that area. So I've got a chance at one of those. But if not, then maybe sort of later towards bite time, when the fish start to feed again, for those little short spells, they might move back over that same spot they were over this morning. At least I know I'm sort of in the rough area of where they were, sort of in my water, if you know what I mean. I'm still the only person on the lake, which is absolutely brilliant because I'm able to sort of walk up and down the bank and have a good look around really and not disturb anyone. And I haven't got leads crashing in everywhere as well, so I know I can be very discreet with the way I'm casting, feathering the line, feeling that lead down. I know that I'm being super discreet with everything I'm doing. The only sort of real disturbance I'm making really is filming this, but you know, you can't help that. I try to be as quiet as I can. That was a fish show again on that middle channel, so yeah, something's just rolled over there. I mean, it's deep water, so when a fish rolls at that depth, yeah, it means they could be up in the layers. 9 times out of 10, if they're coming right up and out of the water like that, they're cleaning their gills out. You know, they've been troughing away in the bottom, but there's not really much else for me to do at the moment, so I'm going to have some lunch in a minute and then I'm just going to sit and chill. I'm really content with where the rods are. I think as much as I can figure out, I'm in the right area, so I think I might just sit and chill for a little bit. Got an umbrella with me. It does seem to be clouding up a little bit over the top, so I might pop that up and sort of tuck away underneath that and get away from the wind a little bit as well. And yeah, if I get anything, then I'll let you guys know. Well guys, big question time. Meal deal of choice. So today I've gone in with, let's go straight into the main. I've got the sausage, bacon and egg triple. Absolutely love a sandwich. I was thinking about doing pasta this time, but it's just such a faff and I don't want to bring a fork, or, you know, the little crappy forks they give you. I hate them. So for my side, I've gone for, it's only the original pepperami. I would have preferred the spicy, but they just didn't have it in the store. So a bit of a cop out on that one, but I still love a pepperami, so I don't mind that. And then for my drink of choice, original Coca-Cola. Can't beat it. Absolutely love it. Can't stand any of the sugarless ones. I'll just have the full fat, thank you. Overall, pretty happy with my selection there. I'm going to sit back and enjoy this now. As you can see, I'm under the brolly now. Really old school brolly, absolutely battered thing. It's got holes everywhere, so probably not waterproof at all, but it just keeps the wind off me a little bit. And I'm tucked away sort of just between a bush anyway, so sort of just to get off the path really. It's just enough to keep that wind off me, and I'm quite relaxed there actually. It's quite nice. So sit back here, have my lunch. Got a really good clear view of the water now and of the rods. So I had a liner just now, so hopefully that's a good thing. If I still get liners in a bit, then maybe I'll think about bringing that rod closer towards me. But for now, I'm just going to sit back, enjoy this, and watch the lake. Fish as well. Yes. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Calm down. It's a lively one. Oh yeah, that's a real fish. What a beaut. Cover her for a minute. Let's just let her calm down for a minute while she's safe on the mat. Absolutely buzzing. Tiny little sore in the mouth. There we go. What a lovely fish. Absolutely beautiful thing. It's in really good condition actually. It's got that little sore on the mouth, but that's literally it. It's quite heavy actually for its size. So I think maybe it's probably sort of 16 pound, maybe a bit more. But yeah, really wide set, quite a sort of deep set fish on here. But yeah, absolutely lovely. Yeah, that's absolutely made my morning. So I was just sat there, just about to have some lunch. Yeah, literally just took a bite of the sandwich, and yeah, and then she tore off. So yeah, it's that same rod again, the one out on the middle channel. And yeah, I just think that that's where they're gonna be. They're out in that deep water, they're starting to gather up a little bit. I've seen the fizzers and they're still fizzing up over that spot. So I think I might even move the other rod out there. But yeah, just gonna see how it goes. What a lovely fish. Yeah, absolutely buzzing. Amazing. Right, let's let this one go, because it feels like it wants to go back to its home. And then I'm gonna crack on, get that rod back out and finish the rest of that sandwich. I think I'll well deserve it. Yes. Oh. So, I've just seen it's excreted loads of boilie mess all over my mat. So there you go, lovely bit of carp poo. But that is literally the boilie I'm putting out. So yeah, they're on that. Well, there we go, guys. So we've just had one. It's our first fish of the session. I'm absolutely over the moon with that one. Yes, I couldn't believe it at all. I was sat here, literally just sat down to have my lunch, got the sandwich out, took one bite, and then I didn't even get a chance to chew it or swallow, and bam, the rod's gone. So yeah, I had to run down for that. Yeah, good little fight as well. So not the biggest fish in the world, but it's a really good start. Yeah, sort of, maybe I estimated it around 16, 17 pound, but maybe it was 15, 16 pounds, something like that, just looking back. But yeah, I got a bad back, so it's not really the one for lifting heavy fish over an awkward mat at the moment. But yeah, everything's gonna feel like 100 times heavier. Never bothered weighing it, so absolute estimation. Yeah, lovely fish either way. I honestly wouldn't have cared if that was a £5 fish. Just absolutely over the moon to be back out carp fishing and having an opportunity to catch one again. So yeah, the rods are back out again. So what I've done is I've reeled in my right hand rod. I've brought that in, changed that over, put a fresh bait on, exactly the same rigs. But yeah, I've gone back in with the fish meal bait on that one. That one's the spicy octopus and squid. So these are the boilies. Nice sort of dark, yeah, like a browny red colour. I've gone in for the wafter as the hook bait, and I've sliced off a small sliver of a fluoro-pink pop-up, about the same size, put them on as like a little snowman, but I still want them to waft. So basically I've set it so the hook point is sort of like a claw and it's not going to be laying flat, just like the other rig, and that's the one that did bite. So yeah, I've gone back over to the same approach, fresh baits on, and with that rod, what I've done is I've knocked up a little stick mix, like a chunky stick mix essentially, just in here. So here we go. Here's the stick mix that I've been making up. Like I say, it's quite a chunky stick mix. You've got a mixture of crumb and then some whole boilies in there as well. And it's all sticky and gloopy because of the bait. But yeah, as you can see, if you were to stick it together like that, it does stick together like a ball. You can ball it up. If you wanted to throw that in like that, and that would break down just like a feeder or like a solid bag. And then it crumbs away nicely. So basically all I've been doing for that one is just taking both of the crumb baits, pouring a little bit of each in, then a bit of the matching liquid in there. Then I've been putting in just a little handful of each boilie, and that is literally all you need. Just lovely soft baits in there as well, and they absolutely stink, which is amazing. I'm not going to knock up loads of it because there's a mixture here. That's all I need for now. That's enough to knock up another couple of bags there just for the session. I don't want to be wasting bait, so that's all I'm going to make up for now. Get the lid back on it, keep it nice and fresh, and that's it. Good to go. I really like the smell of that stuff so far. This is my first time actually using it. The guys at Outliner sent me over some. They're lovely guys and they make great products. So as you can see, got the beanie on now, and this thing is so warm. It's got like a thermal lining on it. But yeah, basically I've just knocked up a little stick mix with that one. That one's in a bag, and that's been put over a little bit further around to the right. So I've sort of had to step to the left-hand side of my peg and cast around that overhanging tree to get out into that middle trough again, but further around to the right essentially. So it's not into the next peg because I just walked down and had a look. They can't reach it because there's a big overhanging tree on the left of their swim, so they can't reach it at all. And it's still my half of the water essentially, if you're looking at it divided in half from this side to the other bank. So I'm not treading on anyone's toes. If anyone else turns up, still well within my peg. But yeah, just sort of making the most of it and spreading the rods out a bit. So I've seen loads of fizzers, and they're out in that middle trough from basically just to the left-hand side of directly out, and then all the way around to maybe, I don't know, another 30 foot around that bush. So essentially, if someone dropped into that next peg to me, they could probably reach just the tail end of where they're fizzing up in their peg, but they can't actually get onto the spot where they're fizzing up. What I've done with that one, put that out, put on a little PVA nugget on the hook. I basically just pushed the hook through the PVA bag, pushed the hook directly into the PVA nugget, licked it and stuck it to the bag. Essentially what that means is the hook point is completely protected on the drop because it's a long drop here. It's completely protected, and also I'm going to know exactly where that's landed, because if there's a massive swing back and the PVA nugget mounts off the hook and floats up to the top, it allows that distance between where it hit the water and the swing back, so I can see exactly where to bait with the catapult. So just done that, yeah, and then got the catapult out with the boilies and put out quite a good helping of boilies over the top. Like I say, usually this time of year, if it's dropped off and the temperature's gone, pretty cold, then I wouldn't bother fishing with such heavy baits. But yeah, I've gone in with quite a bit of bait today, and it seemed to have proved successful because I had that weird whatever it was take thing this morning. Again, I think that's probably just a trailer, and then I had this take on the same spot. So yeah, it's definitely fish out there. Got that right hand rod out onto that, and yeah, hopefully we'll be on with a chance. I'm really hopeful that we still get another bite, but got a few hours yet. I think sundown now is about 3, 4 o'clock, it sort of starts to settle down, and then by about 4, half 4, it's completely dark. Yeah, we're now at, let's have a look. Yeah, we're at 10 past 2, so we've got a couple of hours of light left, and I might just fish into dark a bit as well and try my hand with that, see how that goes. I tend to find in the colder months they produce really well in the dark. Fish become quite active, but I've eaten my lunch now. I've had that, and I'm just going to sit back and chill for a while, and maybe I'm going to prep a rig just in case I need to swap them over. Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. So we'll sit back here and chill now, watch the water. So yeah, it's been a little bit uneventful since that last fish. Yeah, I've had a few liners and bits and pieces, but nothing real and not a full take or anything like that. I've been putting in a little bit of bait. I feel like if I'm gonna get a bite, it's gonna be over this next sort of half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, just into dark. I'm gonna stick around for maybe an hour, maybe a bit more, depending on how I feel. But yeah, if I don't have anything, then I'm gonna say bye now, and I'll see you guys on the next one. But if I do, then I'll show you guys and we'll see what we get. Thanks for watching again, guys. Really appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Well, there we go, guys. I was just saying goodbye to the camera and saying I might stick around for another half an hour or so into dark, put the camera away, packed everything down, and then the rod tore off. I'm not complaining at all. This is an absolute lovely fish. Yeah, it's just gone exactly 20 pound. Definitely not gonna argue with that. Absolutely lovely fish. I don't know how much you can see on the camera there, but she is a beautiful old scaly thing. Really sort of old wrinkly one. Can't really tell too much in this light, but yeah, really beautiful scales on her. Different fish altogether in the fight in this one. As soon as I hit into it, just really slow, steady, plodding along. Really tore me out into the water, took me around all the branches. Nearly went through the other line, but luckily that line sunk down really well. Yeah, no problems at all there. Played her in, got her into the net, and the rest is history. Absolutely over the moon with this one. Yeah, I'm blown away. So this lake has proved really well again. I'm really glad that I chose to come here. Yeah. Absolutely over the moon. I don't think I'm gonna get another fish now. I will slip that rod back out for a little bit, and if I do get another one, then I'll show you guys, but yeah, I'm absolutely blown away. Amazing end to this session. Oh, look at her. Absolutely stunning fish. Yes, this is what it's all about. Right, let's slip this little beauty back. Yes, come on. Here we go. We've only gone and done it and had another fish. I thought the last one was a bonus fish, being just into dark, and I wasn't going to stay any longer. But I did decide, okay, I'll slip the rod back out just for a bit. And yeah, not long at all. And it's torn off again, the other rod, so it's alternated 1, 2, and 3. I'm only fishing 2 rods, but obviously it's rod 1, rod 2, and then rod 1 again has gone. So yeah, I'm catching on literally all the baits I'm putting out. Yeah, can't seem to do a thing wrong at the moment. Absolutely buzzing. This one's got its winter colours going on here. Here we go. Let's see if we can have a look at her without her kicking off. There we go. Oh, she's gonna go. I'm not sure how in focus this fish is gonna be. Try and control it a bit. Very lively. Oh, bloody hell. Again, this one's absolutely kicking out all the boilies. So they're obviously having a good feed up for winter. But yeah, this one's, in the camera light, it looks a bit bleached out, but it's actually very orange, this carp. Only a little one this time. Probably 14 pound, maybe. Something like that, 14, 15 pound. But absolutely beautiful. Again, another scaly one. There's always mirrors in here. I've never ever had a common. I actually hooked one once and then lost it, but yeah, it's the only one. I'm over the moon with this one. Yeah, this has turned out to be actually a really good session. I think I might even slip the rod back out for a little bit, just until the traffic dies down. Otherwise it's gonna be a bit of a journey getting back into Portsmouth. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. All right, let's slip it back and we'll see if we can get another one. Well guys, can't believe it. Had another one. Yeah, absolutely blown away by the session. Really wasn't expecting to get that one at all. If anything, I wasn't really sure if I was going to get a bite today. With the cold and the wind this morning, it was all right for the first sort of 2 hours, and then the wind picked up loads, and it was a bit of a chilly wind. Really wasn't expecting it to happen. And then, so 3 fish now, absolutely blown away. 1 sort of midday, and then 2 just went into dark and 1 in dark. Yeah, a bit naughty, but I got the rod back out. Yeah, probably should have hit the road already. I'm still sat underneath the brolly. I haven't packed a single thing away. Mat and net and everything is still soaking wet, so not really sure what else to say. I'm absolutely blown away. I got that rod back out and it's gone over sort of just to the left of the spot where I was before, but I'm not too worried. I think they're just moving up and down that trough anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna see how it goes. I'm only gonna give it probably another half an hour. I'm not gonna stick around too late tonight, but yeah, really happy with today and how it's gone. I will say one thing though. So one thing I've not really noted before in the past about this lake and this swim in particular is about getting your rods positioned in a way that they're very safe if you can't get to them in time. So you need to have bank sticks that are fairly long that you can sink right down into the soft mud, or a pod that's sort of like pinned down or something, because when these fish go, they absolutely tear off. They're really powerful fish because they're used to sort of navigating up and down the depths of the water, and they do really fight hard. If you get a big take, maybe your spool's too loose or something like that, and you get a coil, it only has to hit the eye and that's it, your rod's gone in the water, you're done. So yeah, one thing I will notice, if you fish a lake like this where it's deep and you've got sort of a bit of a climb to get down to your rods, make sure that your rods are absolutely nailed down. So the butts of my rods are locked completely tight into the butt grips. The other end, I've got the drag set. It's loose enough so it can run well, but it's not loose enough to sort of over spool, and that's really important as well. And then the bobbin's quite a nice heavy one. I'm fishing sort of like a semi-slack drop, so I know that the line's not absolutely nailed down all across the bottom. So if fish are in the area, I know they're there because I'm getting liners before I get the takes. So that's really important for a lake like this. Again, that one came to the Nutilla bait, so the sweet bait. Maybe that's something I'm going to use a lot more of. To be honest with you, both of the baits are absolutely solid. So really pleased with how those ones have sort of worked. Hopefully we've got a chance for another one. If not, then I'm going to sign off now anyway. So I'm going to leave the rods out for probably another half an hour or so and see how they go. But if I don't get anything else, then I'll see you guys soon. This time I probably am signing off for real. As always, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for watching. Really grateful for all the support that you guys give me. And I'll see you guys on the next one.